there you are, preacher. Please, have a seat. Have a seat. Oh, yes, I've finished up my investigation. Yes, yes. Well, you did hire the best. I've got some good news and some bad news. The good news is, yes, it turns out I found the missing money. And even better, you don't have to worry about a huge scandal with regards to the missing $120,000 of church funds. Your church funds. Yes, yes. Turns out it's only $20,000. Yes. Oh no, I'm not mistaken. It's only $20,000. Yes. And here's some more good news. You are going to go before your parishioners. You are going to reveal the scandal of the missing money. You're going to mention how it was discovered that only $20,000 was stolen, but still, that's a lot of money. So you are going to replace that money out of your own personal funds, because it would just simply be wrong for the church to have a deficit of $20,000, even though it is your church. Yes, that's what you're going to tell your parishioners, and they're going to love you even more than before. And then you're going to tell them that the person who stole that money was desperate, that they had a gambling addiction, and that you don't want to reveal their name because they begged you for forgiveness, and the kind-hearted individual you are, well, you accepted their sincere apology, and you've made sure that they've gotten themselves into a center that helps with gambling addiction, and that you don't want any harsh feelings, you don't want any anger towards this individual who made a mistake, who was desperate. You're going to ask your congregation for forgiveness, and then you're actually going to cover the $20,000. And your reputation is going to go through the roof. Who knows, maybe straight into heaven. Yes. Now the bad news. The bad news is, well, it actually is $120,000. But someone like you with your background, you can cook the books and make it only $20,000. And that way, you only have to replace $20,000 from your personal funds, which for you, yeah, that's pretty much $20 to most people, that $20,000. And as for the other $100,000, well, it's just going to magically vanish like a miracle. Yes. Oh, you don't seem too happy with me, preacher. Well, that's the thing. I'm not too happy with the fact that you lied to me. You hired me, you told me the money was missing, you wanted me to find out who took it. I found out. Oh no, I'm not going to tell you. No. You see, I'm not going to tell you because you already know who took it. Yes. Fortunately for you, she doesn't want to blackmail you. She doesn't want anyone to know. well, she decided to put the baby up for adoption. I think all things considered, that would be best. Oh, please, preacher, please don't act like you actually care. Please, please. No, 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 no. I mean, if it makes you feel better, she did have an ultrasound, and it turns out the baby's gender is female. So do you actually care? Yeah. Maybe if it was a boy, you would have cared a little bit. I mean, honestly, preacher, you're very fortunate that young woman only looks a little underaged. Yeah. I mean, it's incredible. She looks 14, but she's actually 19. But still, that would have been a heck of a scandal. Oh, please, preacher. Please. I mean, yeah, she does have a boyfriend. But, well, I am a professional private investigator, and I did some investigating into him. Seems like there was a car accident back when he was 14, joyriding with some friends. Oh, he wasn't the driver, but he was in the front passenger seat when it crashed, and he got injured. Yeah. I mean, apparently all the pipes work, but there's no water running through them. What I'm saying, preacher, is that her boyfriend is impotent. Yeah, he just never bothered to tell her. And the only two people she's been with is you and her boyfriend. And we know it's not her boyfriend's baby. Well, I mean, after all, it's your church, your brainwashed parishioners. They'd probably forgive you, but why have a scandal when you can avoid it? And quite frankly, preacher, you're very lucky that young lady was not underaged. Otherwise, yeah, we'd be having a very different conversation. Oh, I know you're upset with me, preacher, but keep in mind I used to be a police detective before I retired and became a private investigator. I still have most of my contacts in the police department. And there is that one FBI agent who owes me a huge favor. You're very fortunate I didn't call it in. But yeah, the amount of money missing really is $120,000. But you're going to say it's 20, and you're going to replace that 20,000 from your own personal funds, and then you're going to cook the books. I mean, let's face it, preacher, you were an accountant in your, how should I say it, your previous life before you came up with this brilliant scam. I mean, you do have a lot of charm and charisma, preacher, I'll give you that, but yeah, it only works on stupid people. Then again, most human beings are stupid. Most of the 100,000 is going to go towards the young lady. She's going to use it to start a new life far, far away from here. And I've convinced her to keep her mouth shut. Besides, even if she opened it, there's no evidence. That baby, someone will adopt that little girl. no evidence there. And, well, you can just say that it was her boyfriend who got her pregnant. After all, you can just pretend you had no clue that he was impotent. So, there you go. Just let her go off with a good chunk of that $100,000. Far, far away from here, she'll start a new life. Well, like I said, most of that. The rest is going to me. Think of it as a renegotiation of the fee for finding that money. After all, I did find it, found the guilty culprit, and I told you who it was. Things are just going to be a little different. Yes. Well, you are pretending to be a savior, the chosen one. You can pretend that you didn't impregnate that young woman. You can pretend that there's only 20,000 missing instead of 120,000. And you can continue to pretend that you're this wonderful, chosen savior. I really don't give a damn about exposing you. Why should I? There's no benefit for me. I've already gotten my fee, and that young lady, well, she has most of that 100,000. And she's scared of you, so she's not going to reveal anything. She's not going to say anything. She just wants a new start. Yeah. She just wants a new start. And as for her parents, well, I mean, considering what they did to her, what you did to her, not nearly as bad. That's the ironic part, preacher. But yes, this is how things are going to be. She's not going to reveal anything to your parishioners. I'm not going to reveal anything to your parishioners. There's no benefit in it for me. There's none for her. You can keep fleecing these idiots all you want. I don't care. What do I care about? I'll be honest with you, preacher. Every time I take a case involving a so-called man of God, I hope and pray that this time, this individual is going to be the real thing. Yes, believe it or not, preacher, I'm a very religious Christian man, very religious. And every time I take a case, I always hope it's going to be a situation where, yes, this time it's real. This time I'm not dealing with some con artist with tons of charm, tons of charisma, and a ton of idiotic, blindly devoted followers who refuse to think for themselves. I mean, honestly, preacher, some of the things you've been preaching about, it's clear that your parishioners, maybe a tiny percentage of them, have actually bothered to stop and read the good book. Otherwise, they would know that you're making a lot of that stuff up. Oh, miracle worker, come on, come on. I saw your last broadcast, preacher. How come it's always all of the same faces, but there are different miracles? Yes, the tall, skinny guy who always walked with a limp all of a sudden can walk normally. Now, last week, you dressed him up in a fake beard and glasses, and you had him suffer from horrendous migraine headaches that made it impossible for him to even stand up. A little bit of advice, preacher. If you're going to do that, let your actors grow out their actual facial hair for 1 week and then shave it off for the new miracle for the next week. Yeah, that's a lot more believable. I mean, the fake beard and mustache, they were decent, but not everyone would be fooled. Oh, your idiot parishioners, I'm sure they would be. Can they even read? I mean, I'm sure you realize that the good book is in audio format, but maybe they don't. Look, it's not about believing, not believing. It's about the fact that you're scamming these people. All of those donations, your particular Christian denomination church. I mean, really, your parishioners aren't even questioning the fact that you're driving around in an actual Rolls Royce, which, quite frankly, a man of God would never do, considering what that hood ornament represents. Very sinful. Very sinful. Maybe try driving around in a Bentley. Look, I don't care. None of your parishioners are my family. None of them are people I care about. If they're stupid enough to give you their money, well, that's their damn stupidity, isn't it, preacher? As for me, I just want to make sure that you understand exactly what's happening. Like I said, keep up the act. She's not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. Just keep up the act. Be open and honest to a degree with your parishioners, with that BS story of how only 20,000 went missing, and it was from someone with a gambling addiction. Make yourself look good. As for me, yeah, this meeting is over. You have a good one, preacher. I have another case coming up, another client. Who knows? Maybe this one will be the actual chosen one. I'll see.